Hey guys! The Tyrannosaurus was a true monster, belonging to the family of Tyrannosauroids. These giants vanished from our planet faster than many of their relatives. They roamed Earth millions of years ago, near the end of the Cretaceous period. The very name Tyrannosaurus comes from Greek roots, tyrannos, meaning tyrant, and sauros, meaning lizard. These fearsome predators lived across what is now the United States and Canada. They belong to the order of theropods and are considered the only known species of their kind. Appearance. This beast was one of the largest predators to ever walk the earth. Its body length and weight were nearly double that of an African elephant. Body and limbs. Fossil studies show that the T-Rex skeleton was made up of 299 bones, with 58 of them forming the skull alone. Some bones were hollow inside, reducing weight without sacrificing too much strength, an important adaptation for such a massive creature. Like other theropods, the Tyrannosaurus had an S-shaped neck. Short and thick, it had to support the enormous weight of the skull. Its spine consisted of 10 cervical, neck, vertebrae, 12 thoracic, chest, vertebrae, 5 sacral vertebrae, up to 40 caudal, tail, vertebrae. Fun fact. The T-Rex had a long, heavy tail that acted like a rudder and a counterbalance, helping it stay steady as it moved its massive body and giant head. The front limbs, though tiny compared to the back legs, carried 2 clawed fingers, weak-looking but still powerful. The rear limbs, on the other hand, were massive, equipped with 3 strong toes and sharp claws, built for gripping and tearing. Skull and teeth. Over 1.5 meters, that's the size of the largest Tyrannosaurus skull ever studied by paleontologists, a whopping 1 meter 53 centimeters long. The skull itself had a unique shape. It widened noticeably at the back but narrowed sharply toward the front. This design meant that the T-Rex had forward-facing eyes, which gave it excellent binocular vision, perfect for spotting prey. But that wasn't its only advantage. T-Rex also had an exceptional sense of smell, thanks to its massive olfactory lobes. In fact, its nasal structure was very similar to modern scavenging birds like vultures, giving it the ability to track scents over great distances. The upper jaw had a distinctive U-shape, unlike the more common V-shaped jaws of other carnivorous dinosaurs. This U-shaped design gave the Tyrannosaurus an incredibly powerful bite, allowing it to tear off enormous chunks of flesh under the crushing force of its front teeth. Inside that terrifying mouth were teeth of different shapes and functions, a condition known as heterodonty. The teeth of the upper jaw were longer than those of the lower jaw. The back teeth were more uniform in size. And the most astonishing discovery? A single T-Rex tooth measuring over 30 centimeters from root to tip, longer than your forearm. The front teeth of the upper jaw were like daggers, tightly packed together, slightly curved inward, reinforced with ridges for extra strength. Because of this structure, T-Rex teeth almost never broke, no matter how much force they used when ripping prey apart. Some of the other teeth were banana-shaped, thick, heavy, and designed for crushing bone. These too had reinforcing ridges, though spaced a bit farther apart. Size of the Tyrannosaurus. Tyrannosaurs are considered some of the largest members of the Tyrannosaurid family. The first fossils, discovered in 1905, showed predators averaging up to 10 meters in length. By comparison, megalosaurs and allosaurs rarely grew beyond 9 meters. But among tyrannosaurs, there were true giants. Species like Giganotosaurus and Spinosaurus rivaled or even surpassed T-Rex in size. Fun fact. In 1990, paleontologists unearthed a nearly complete skeleton measuring about 12.3 meters long and weighing around 9.5 tons. This fossil became famous under the name Sioux. Yet later discoveries hinted at even bigger T-Rex individuals. In 2006, researchers at the University of Montana announced that they had reconstructed a massive skull, originally found back in the 1960s. This skull was over 10 centimeters longer than Sue's, with jaws capable of opening nearly 1.5 meters wide. Even more intriguing, fossil fragments, a foot bone and part of a jaw, suggest the existence of Tyrannosaurs reaching 14.5 and even 15.3 meters in length, with estimated weights of at least 14 tons. However, paleontologists caution against estimating body size based on single bones. Proportions could vary greatly between individuals. Behavior and lifestyle. When a T-Rex moved, its body was held parallel to the ground, with its heavy tail lifted slightly to act as a counterbalance. Despite its size, this predator wasn't built for speed. Computer simulations in 2007 estimated a maximum running speed of about 30 km per hour, 18 miles per hour. Any faster, and the animal risked losing balance, falling, and possibly killing itself under its own weight. During a chase, the T-Rex had to move carefully. If it did crash to the ground, some paleontologists believe it may have used its small but strong forelimbs to push itself back up. Interesting fact. T-Rex had a sense of smell sharper than that of modern dogs. It could detect the scent of blood and flesh from several kilometers away. Its feet were also equipped with sensitive pads that picked up ground vibrations and transmitted them to its inner ear, helping it locate prey. Each T-Rex maintained its own territory, marking boundaries in various ways and rarely crossing into another's domain. For a long time, scientists believed tyrannosaurs were cold-blooded. But in the 1960s, paleontologists proposed a new theory, that T-Rex was warm-blooded, with an active metabolism. Evidence for this comes from its fast growth rates, comparable to mammals and birds. Growth followed an S-shaped curve. By age 14, a T-Rex already weighed about 2 tons. Over the next 4 years, it entered a rapid growth phase, adding 600 kilograms each year. After that, growth slowed significantly. Still, not all scientists agree. Some suggest T-Rex may have been mesothermic, able to maintain a relatively constant body temperature, similar to modern leatherback sea turtles. How long did tyrannosaurs live? Paleontologists believe these predators reproduced relatively quickly, but their lifespans were cut short by the many dangers they faced each day. By studying fossilized bones, scientists have been able to estimate both growth rates and life expectancy. For example, analysis of a small Jordan theropod, one of the tiniest tyrannosaurs, weighing only about 30 kilograms, showed that it died at just 2 years old. Fun fact. The largest and most famous specimen, Sue, weighed around 9.5 tons and lived nearly 30 years. Experts think this was close to the maximum lifespan for T-Rex. Habitat. Most T-Rex fossils have been found in deposits from the Maastrichtian stage of the late Cretaceous, across wide regions from Canada down into the United States, including states like Texas and New Mexico. One of the richest fossil sites is the Hell Creek Formation in the northwestern U.S. During the Maastrichtian, this region had a tropical climate, hot, humid, and lush with conifers such as Araucaria and Metasequoia, alongside flowering plants. Key fact. Fossil distribution shows that T-Rex thrived in a wide variety of environments. Dry and semi-arid plains. Swampy lowlands. Inland regions far from lakes and seas. They shared their ecosystems with many other dinosaurs, including Triceratops, Edmontosaurs, duck-billed dinosaurs, Torosaurs, Ankylosaurs, Thescelosaurs, Pachycephalosaurs, Ornithomimids and Trudents. Another fossil hotspot is in Wyoming, where multiple T-Rex skeletons have been uncovered. Back then, this area resembled the coastal ecosystems of today's Gulf of Mexico, supporting a rich and diverse fauna. In southern parts of its range, T-Rex lived alongside enormous pterosaurs, giant allosaurs, as well as other herbivores like Edmontosaurs, Torosaurs, and armored ankylosaurs. These southern lands were mostly semi-arid plains, formed after the retreat of the western interior seaway. The discovery of Tyrannosaurus rex. The very first fossils of this prehistoric monster were discovered back in 1900 during an expedition by the American Museum of Natural History, led by Barnum Brown, in Wyoming. Just 2 years later, in Montana, another, though only partial, skeleton was found. Restoring it took scientists nearly 3 years. At first, these finds were given different names, but by 1906, both were officially recognized as belonging to a single species, Tyrannosaurus rex. Historic fact. In 1906, the New York Times published a headline announcing the discovery of the very first T-Rex. The partial skeleton was put on display in the American Museum of Natural History. To give visitors a sense of its enormous size, curators placed the skeleton of a large bird right next to its hind legs for comparison. By 1908, paleontologists had uncovered a complete T-Rex skull, and in 1915, the first fully mounted skeleton was exhibited. There was one mistake though: scientists had accidentally fitted it with the three-fingered forelimbs of an Allosaurus. This error wasn't corrected until much later, after the discovery of another specimen nicknamed Wankel Rex, found in the Hell Creek Formation in 1990. This specimen, though only 50% complete, revealed much about the animal. It had died at the age of 18 years, measured over 11 meters in length, and weighed around 6.3 tons. Even more remarkable, scientists discovered traces of blood molecules preserved in the fossil. That very same year, 1990, another discovery shook the paleontological world: the largest and most complete T-Rex ever found, Sue. Named after paleontologist Sue Hendrickson, this fossil was later sold at auction in 1997 to Chicago's Field Museum of Natural History for a record-breaking $7.6 million. After years of preparation, Sue, measuring 12.3 meters long with a 1.4 meter skull, was finally unveiled to the public in 2000. Other famous specimens include Moore 008, a massive skull first discovered in 1967, fully restored only in 2006. It now resides in the Museum of the Rockies in Montana. Black Beauty, found in 1980 in Canada, whose dark, almost black bones owe their color to mineralization. It is now on display at the Royal Tyrrell Museum. Stan, discovered in 1987 in South Dakota. Initially mistaken for a Triceratops, the fossil was fully excavated in 1992 and revealed fascinating pathologies: broken ribs, fused neck vertebrae from a healed fracture, and bite marks, likely from another T-Rex. Z-Rex, found in 1987, with an exceptionally well-preserved skull unearthed in 1992. Bucky, discovered in 1998, notable for having fused, wishbone-shaped clavicles, evidence of a transitional feature between dinosaurs and birds. Rhees Rex, one of the most complete specimens, with a skull preserved 94% intact, found in the Hell Creek Formation on a grassy slope. What did T-Rex eat? Tyrannosaurs were the apex predators of their world, true super-predators. Thanks to their sheer size, they towered over most other carnivorous dinosaurs that shared the same ecosystem. Each adult T-Rex controlled a massive hunting ground, sometimes stretching across hundreds of square kilometers. Within these territories, they ruled as the top hunters, stalking prey and ensuring no rival carnivores threatened their domain. Because of this, adult tyrannosaurs lived mostly solitary lives, each one dominating its own vast territory like a prehistoric king. Here's the video. If you liked it, please give a thumbs up and subscribe. See you next time.